Hi everybody, welcome back to another character drawing show. I am Avivah, your art director from the Ed Asner Family Center. I am so happy you joined us today. We have one of my favorite characters from an incredible Studio Ghibli film called Spirited Away. If you have not seen this movie, watch this movie tonight. It is one of my favorites. It is a feel good. It has some adventure, romance, some thrilling aspects to it. It's really, really great and one of my favorites. Definitely check it out. My entire family loves all of Hayao Miyazaki's movies. But today, specifically, every single week during this class, we choose a new character to practice drawing. And all of these characters are, very accessible to all artists, even if you're a beginner or you've been drawing for years. So today, our character is going to be this little, like, I guess it's like a bird and a mouse from the show. The whole story between these two is that Yubaba is this incredible witch that has casted a spell over these two characters. The entire point of the movie is that this little girl named Shihiro ends up in this magical world, and she has to try and find her way back home and help her parents in the meantime as well. So we're drawing these two very cute characters from this movie. I'm not going to give too much away and tell you their whole story. So watch the movie and you'll understand it a little bit more. But if you're familiar, give a comment below, and I'd love to know if you've also seen this movie. So we are going to be drawing this character with just a pencil and some paper. So if you have that nearby, this is a live show. We're working together. We're drawing side by side. Let's do it. Okay, come on. All right, so here is our character. So this is Yubaba's bird / servant. And this is actually her baby that ends up being turned into a little mouse. And so even in this form, Yubaba's bird servant is, helping her out still kind of serving Yubaba. And so here we go. I've got a little mark on my paper, and I know that's going to make me angry. So here's a fresh piece. You can see that I'm in a nice flat surface here. I've got a nice eraser on my pencil, but let's get started. So what we're going to do here is we're going to choose a character to start with. And because our basically main focus of these two characters is the mouse, because he's a little bit bigger than the bird, we're going to start with the head of the mouse. So we can see that it's not going to be quite in the center of our paper. We're going to start closer to, if this is half of our paper, we're going to start right underneath there and start with this really cute head shape that this mouse has. So to get started, we are going to be making a nice circle size. I want you to pay attention to the way that I'm drawing right now, because we're going to be using this technique throughout the entire drawing. I am really lightly drawing with my pencil right now to just make a nice circle-y shape. So very lightly, I'm going around and around until I find the perfect circle. And now I'm going to start carving out the shape that I want for my head. We can see that the cheeks go inward, and he's kind of got a mouth that looks like the number 3. It's like the little mouse jowls, a little bit like how a puppy has his little puppy lips. So to start off, we're going on the on the sides of our circle. We're going to slightly curve our way in. And now I'm going to start to go a little bit darker with my lines to really make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I've got 2 curved in cheek marks. We are going to stick with the top of the head here, while we kind of move our way outwards for the cheeks. And sometimes having a center line for your drawing is a good idea. So either fold your paper in half or just draw a line down the center, because we can see that both of our characters are pretty much symmetrical. So finding our center line, we're just going to go out to connect these two together, ending with a little point going inwards right at our center line here. You can see that I'm kind of making my line right now go further out than the circle. So we should end up with this nice shape here. Not gonna lie, it does look a little bit like a booty. So we got a little bit of a booty shape going on. We're gonna erase these inner circle lines because we do not need them. We have the perfect mouse shape here. And if you're like me and realizing that you might not have a lot of space for your tail, you can have it get cut off of the paper or have it be a little bit shorter. Okay, and so now moving on to the features of our mouse, we can see that whenever we're drawing a character, you want to look at the first line that you've made and kind of notice the difference, the distance between some lines. So if we look at our ears here, there's only about an inch away. They're only like an inch away from each other. So I'm just going to make a little guideline here. Just make two little lines going up next to our center line. And so starting to curve these ears out and around, it's kind of like a half circle, but on the outer part of our circle, we're kind of bringing that line in towards our head. So we're kind of overlapping this line here, going a little bit over, curving our line up, around. Two cute ear shapes. You don't have to be as detailed as I am. Every single drawing is going to look a little bit different, so don't feel like yours has to look exactly like mine or the original. So now we can see that we want to make sure that it looks like the ears are connected to the head. So we're going to erase this line here. So our ears kind of flow into the head, and we're going to be making these it's like a crescent shape. So starting at the bottom of the ear, we're going to curve up and around, and that's going to give us kind of like a flap to the ear. You see that a lot whenever you're making like a cat ear or any other animal usually has like a little bit of skin that covers some of the ear. Okay, and so we're going to do two little flicks, two little lines going out, kind of like a curved V for like the inner hairs of the ear, just like that, two little curved V's. And now we can make the eyes. What I want you to do is find the curve that we've made of the cheeks, and we're going to just make a very light line going across to make sure that our eyes are on the same level. And we can see that these eyes aren't perfect circles. They're a little bit ovally. So we're going to have our second line show us how tall our eyes are going to be, the length. And then now we're going to notice how far apart our eyes are. And let's use our ears as a reference, right? We can see that these inner parts of the eyes kind of line up with the ears. So let's do that. We can even make a little light line going from the ears down to the area where we're going to put our eyes. We can see that the eyes are pretty close to the edge of the face too. So you can even make a little guideline for yourself here too. And now we have the perfect map where we're just going to add our cute little mouse oval eyes right there, touching the inner line that we've made, the outer line, and back at the top, just like that. So now, so we don't confuse ourselves, let's erase some of those little guidelines that we've made. Every artist has like a different style and how they go about drawing. So if your way of drawing isn't similar to mine and you don't really like to make guidelines, that's okay too. You could just kind of wing it, eyeball it. So speaking of eyeballs, we are going to be making a little inner circle here for the pupil. They're going to be little circles kind of closer to the right edge of the eye. And then within that circle, we're going to make another teeny circle, and that's going to be the shine of the eye. And everything else but that little circle that we just made is going to be a dark black. So I'm just filling in that space. And if I'm going a little bit too fast for you, just know that these shows are always recorded, and you can always go back and rewatch it once this video is done being streamed live. Okay. Two cute little mouse eyes. Very adorable. Okay, so now what we're going to do, make sure you like the way that the shape of the eyes look. And right in between those eyes, you can't really see it in my example here, but imagine an upside down triangle with, instead of a pointed corner, we're going to do nice and rounded corners, or a rounded upside down triangle for the nose. I'll bring that up a little bit closer for you friends to see. It's an upside down triangle with rounded corners. And then to finish it off, we're going to add just like a little curve on top of that, a little scrunch of the nose, just a little line above that. Hopefully you all can see that little line. Little details like that really give a lot more of a cute effect to our characters. Give it a little bit more of an expression. Right underneath those eyes, we're going to add two, what are those called? They're like two diagonal lines here, just underneath the eyes, just to give it almost like a kind of anime-like blush situation going on. And we're going to do that underneath the other one as well, going the same direction. All right, and so that's all the features of the face. So we can erase that line going down the center so we can really see what we've made. And so you've completely finished the head. If you're going along with me, our head is complete. Now, what we can do is go on to the body. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start closer to the bottom of the mouth here and make a slightly curved line going out. We can see that the bird is kind of holding the body up. So most of his body is going to be above his head with quite small legs. He's kind of holding the baby Bo. He's kind of holding him like a baby cat. So we're going to find our lines that we're starting with. The highest line, which is going to be a couple inches higher than the head. I'm actually going to bring it down just a little bit so we can really see what our bird's going to look like. And then just connect all those lines together with a nice curved line, making it kind of skinnier at the top. Just like that. You guys are doing a great job sticking with me here. Feel free to add another curved line above that for like the arms that are getting tucked underneath. We're going to add the legs as well by kind of doing a nice rounded curve going into the body. Let's do the same on the other side. A nice curve. And connect those together with one more very stretched out U shape, almost like the arch of a rainbow. And then for his cute little mouse feet, we're going to do 3 little toes curled, like nice, soft, curved lines for his feet going up and down, almost like it's the crown of a chicken. 3 little toes, just like that, peeking down. You can add the tail now too if you'd like. I like to go straight with a little bit of a curve at the end. Bring it back up. It's kind of like a candy cane with a point. And then to show these markings of a rat tail, we're just going to do curved lines going across all the way down the tail, just like that. Adding a curved line really makes the tail look a lot rounder. We're going to do what you did before and add 2 little dashes right in between the ears. This is going to show like that his skin is folding slightly because he's being held up by the little bird creature. We're going to erase all these inner guidelines as well too, because we've actually finished our mouse. Quick and easy, right? Well, I won't say quick and easy because sometimes this might be harder for some folks, harder for some other people, and that's okay. It's all about practice. We're going to finish off our character day with this very sweet bird that really won't take you a long time. You can end it here if you'd like, but he'd kind of just be floating and being held up by a ghost. So you might as well keep going because you've made it this far. So we're going to take 2 curved lines pointing together, just like how we made the lines of the ears. 2 curved V-like shapes just on the top of the body here. And we're going to go out in a straight line on both of those feet, just like this, bringing them back in for a nice angle. And those are going to be our legs here, just like that. And then we're going to make a little U on top of both of those legs, a curved line to connect, 2 more curved wing-like shapes going out. And so you should end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 curves of the body. And then leaving some space in between, we're going to make 2 big circles. Just like that. Those are going to be our eyes. But notice how I left some space because we are going to add the beak curving around, in, down, up, around to make this cute beak that he's got. A little bottom lip. 2 dots on the beaks for the nostrils, curving that line around for the head. And then, just like how we did with the mouse's eyes, we're going to add a smaller circle on the inner part of that circle. And then 1 more teeny tiny little circle on the inside, coloring that in. Everything except for that tiny circle that we made, because that's going to be the shine of the eye. Gives it a little bit more life. And so to finish it off, we're going to add some cute little hairs sticking out the top of his head. He's going to be, I think in the movie, he has about 5. And then to finish off our character, they kind of just look like they're just hovering in the air. But we want to add these lines around our bird to really show that this bird is struggling to carry this big chubby mouse. So we're going to make some curved lines right next to the head here. And that's going to give us kind of like a flapping motion. Just like that. To finish off, you can add a few curved lines under the feet to show that the skin is also being pulled by the bird. But there you have it. There is our very cute character, our Yababa servant bird, and Bo, the baby, in mouse form. I hope you guys enjoyed drawing this character today. If I went a little bit fast for you, or if I even went a little bit too slow and you need to rewatch some parts because you might have sped through or you couldn't catch up as fast, that's okay. You know, it takes practice. I'd love to see your characters. So if you want to send them to me, I'd love to see them. You can email your character that you've done today to me at Avivah@edasnerfamilycenter.org. I'd love to see your art. And also, along with your picture, you can also send me some recommendations for future shows because we've done a lot of characters on this show. I'm starting to feel like we're like running out. So if you have a character that I have yet to do that is your favorite, that you'd love to learn how to draw along with me, let's do it. Send them my way at that same email I just said. And I'll see you guys next week for another really fun character drawing show. Okay, bye everybody. Thanks for joining us.